Nerdrotic, you are a liar. You and all of the people in your community are liars. And you've painted yourself in the corner. You've dug yourself in a hole over this Ironheart show. And I've exposed the fact that you guys have lied about it. Your entire community and all your adjacent communities keep lying about the show. You've tried to disparage the show. You've tried to make the show something that it isn't. You called Riri a murderer. She never murders anybody in the show, but your viewers believe you because they're not watching the show. She never actually does that. You called her a thief. She never actually steals anything in the show. If you go back and you look at all the heists that go on, she never actually steals anything from any of these companies. She's also not a thief. She didn't steal the suit. You've lied about that too. You have lied. I've called you out on it time and time again. And here you are doing it again, spreading more lies and again lying about having inside information on a Disney project. I've already disproven that. You don't have an insider, because if you would have had an insider, you would have known about the Elio stuff. You would have known about the fact there was a drag queen, a gay character in Ironheart. Even though it was announced back in 2022, you said that your inside person saw all 6 episodes and it was the worst thing Marvel's ever done, but somehow managed to forget to tell you that there's a drag queen in the show. Something you could have grifted off for months. You were saying like over a month ago, that your insider was feeding you information about Ironheart. That's a lie. It's all a lie. If it were true, you would have known that. You would have known about the Elio stuff, about there being a gay storyline that was cut from that movie. You could have ran on that for months, but you guys all jumped on it after everybody found out about it. So this idea that people within Marvel consider it the worst thing they've ever made, that is a lie. There's no substantiated claims of that. These are all hearsay. And when you make a statement like that, it is on you to provide proof of that. But your viewers don't care about facts, do they? They don't care about facts. It doesn't matter to them. They just want confirmation bias. That's all you guys want, is confirmation bias. And it's really weird because a lot of the things that you've been saying about Ironheart in general is just confirmation bias lies. You are perpetuating stereotypes about Black people, saying the show is doing that, even though you're the ones making up the lies. Like the idea that Riri actually stole things, that Riri actually murdered someone. These are all lies that you're perpetuating to make it seem like the show is a stereotype. When in fact, characters like Ezekiel actually was stealing things. He was stealing weapons and selling them on the black market and lying to Riri about who he was. But you guys don't ever bring that up. That's never a topic of conversation because you don't want to make it seem like the white guy is a bad person in the show. You would never do that. But then you guys make excuses for the fact that he was emasculated on the show. Oh, so sorry that Ezekiel was emasculated and he was kind of a feminine type character. That's all excused. But all the other characters, all the people of color and diverse characters on the show, all of those people get completely thrown under the bus by you guys because you have to paint your narrative. And you've lied about so many things when it comes to this. The actual producer of the show, the producer from Sinners, went on a podcast, we're going to watch the clip here in a second, and confirmed there were only 2 days of reshoots. I did digging. I can't find any proof, any substantiated claims of a dozen re-edits of Ironheart. I can't find that. It is all from garbage hearsay stuff on Reddit and other places. There's no person coming forward, part of the production company of Ironheart, who has said that the show went through dozens of re-edits. This is all hearsay. There are no actual tangible claims of this. But they keep pushing it. But let's listen to the producer himself speak about the reshoots, the person that actually filmed the show, that was there when the show was being made, that worked with the pre-production and post-production of the show. Who are we going to listen to? We're going to listen to Nerdrotic? Or are we going to listen to the person that was on set producing the show that has no reason to lie about reshoots? Because reshoots are common. They're a common thing. There's no reason for him to lie about it. But let's listen to what he says.
They really, at the end of the day, yes, there was more time, but it's not like that time, because time is money. And that would, I don't know if the show didn't need that time to look this good or to change. I mean, people don't realize this, but we only shot 2 days of reshoots, which is an extremely tiny amount.
Wow.
You often hear stories, and this is not just a Marvel thing. You'll hear stories about weeks or whatever.
Absolutely.
It was entirely the strikes and a little bit, I think, of just Disney overall parsing out all their content. I mean, they have the Star Wars universe, and they have.
So there we have it. The strikes were the reason why the show was delayed as long as it was. That's the reason why. And they only did a couple of days of reshoots. He has no reason to lie about that. There's no point in lying about that. But here we have Nerdrotic still perpetuating lies and hearsay to reinforce that confirmation bias that they've done so much to when it comes to the viewers of their content who are no longer watching these shows. And it's so frustrating to me because there are actual, just like with She-Hulk and lots of other shows, there are actual legitimate conversations you could have about things that happen in the show, whether it makes sense, whether it doesn't make sense. But you can't even do that online because you end up with this really dumb, ignorant, intellectually dishonest garbage from these guys, trying to make it seem like something is what it isn't. People ask me all the time why I would never ever talk to these guys because I get blasted for it quite often. Number one, they never do that. They never go out of their way to talk to people that think differently than them. That's on them. They never do that either. But what I would do is if I ended up on a panel with these guys, having a discussion, specifically, we were talking about Ironheart. All they would be able to do is do this. And then I would have to say, you are lying. I'm going to provide proof that you're lying. And then we would go back and forth about whether they're lying or not. And we would never get anywhere on it because they don't want to look like liars. This is why they would never, ever debate someone like me. Because this is all untrue. I would say, well, who's telling you this? Where are you getting this information? Oh, I have an insider. Who's the insider? Who is it? Oh, you can't tell me? Okay, so outside of that, where are you getting this other information from? Oh, fandom polls. Where are they getting from? Reddit. Okay, fake accounts. Nothing is substantiated. It is all conspiracy theory brain rot. And they continue to lie about it. Nerdrotic, you and everybody orbiting your area are liars. You're all liars. It's all spin. It's all narrative. There's so much dishonesty about this. And they're doing it because they know that they are holding on for dear life. We already see channels struggling to stay afloat. One of the biggest ones, The Quartering, is struggling to stay afloat making this kind of content. Nobody's caring about this anymore. And when I say that, I mean that. You're seeing the drop-off. It is happening. This is not hyperbole. This is not something you can't physically see. You can go look at the numbers and listen to the people talking about it. Shad and Quartering. Shad is connected to these guys. He's talked about it. The Quartering, who is part of this whole outrage grift content, he's talked about it. So it's not just me saying it. It's people that are making this content that have talked about it. That is tangible. That is real. That's not hearsay. That's actual. It's coming from the source itself. But they'll never address that. They have to do this because they are holding on for dear life on YouTube. And once YouTube starts cracking down on some of this other stuff, it's going to be even harder for them to hold on to the algorithm. So this is fear. They have to make this Ironheart thing work because they don't have a choice. This is what they're running on now. This is what's filling their gas tanks right now. This is what's paying their mortgage right now. They have to do this. Keep calling them out. They may not care about facts, but we should. That is the difference between us and them when it comes to this space.